Hey, everybody, it's your favorite time of the week again. Time for that college football rapid fire. We're talking week 5 with Craig Trapp from Picks and Parlays. My name's Allie Burns, and we're going to get this party started. How you doing, Craig Trapp?
Excited. We've had 2 good weeks in a row with our rapid fire picks, so I'm excited to keep that roll going as we go to week 5 of college football. I mean, believe it, we're a third of the way through the college football season already.
It's crazy. It's just flying. It's like we wait so long for it, and then it finally gets here, and then it just flies right by. So yeah, we've been kicking butt here. Let's keep that train a rolling. Arkansas is at Georgia. Georgia minus 18.5. Totals 48.5. What are we looking at here?
Well, Arkansas has been the darling of the SEC. I mean, come from nowhere. They beat Texas, and not just a little bit. Pounded Texas A&M. Of course, that was in the neutral site at Jerry World. The beat Texas at least was at home. But now you're taking the big boy. I mean, there's Alabama and Georgia. Those are by far the best 2 teams, I believe, in the SEC, followed probably by Florida. But I like Arkansas enough to keep it within this 18.5 number. I think when you get up for games, which obviously Arkansas's players haven't, there's not one guy that's been in there for 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, whatever, that's ever experienced any success to have that. I think they're going to be ready to play here. I do think Georgia wins, but I think it's like 14 to 17 points. So I'm going to take the 18.5 here.
All right. It is a lot of points. Up next, we've got Michigan at Wisconsin. Wisconsin -2. I was a little surprised to see them being the favorite in this spot. Total's 43.5. What can you tell me about that one?
Well, I mean, Wisconsin pounded the second half against Penn State, which I just don't know if Penn State offense is that good. Wisconsin had really no answer. Notre Dame in a neutral field at Soldier Field last week, they had no answer the second half either. So I think Michigan, that running game has been amazing. I mean, it is ground and pound. I mean, Bill Belichick would be proud of the way this Michigan team has been playing. I like Michigan here. I just think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Whoever can run the ball the most and most successfully hold on to the ball is going to win. I think that's been Michigan so far. We're going to find out if Michigan's for real because they really haven't beat anybody yet. Rutgers was, what were they, 3-0, but obviously, who did they beat or 2-0, whatever they were coming into that one. So I like Michigan here to get it done, to win outright, but I'm going to take the 2 points. Weird stuff happens in really close games, and I do think it'll be a close game.
All right. Up next, we are talking Cincinnati at Notre Dame. Cincinnati's the favorite on the road here, -2. I've been cashing on that Bearcats team all season long. The total here is 50.5. I'm excited to hear your take on this, Mr. Cincinnati man.
Yeah, obviously, lifelong Bearcat fan. So obviously, I know Brian Kelly very well. I know Cincinnati basketball more than I know football. But recent years, obviously, football has become the cash cow in Cincinnati. With Luke Fickell turning this program back around to where Brian Kelly had it when he left. Cincinnati, obviously, everything's on the line for Cincinnati. But same with Notre Dame here because Notre Dame, if they win out, they're going to be in the playoff again. I mean, that's just the way it goes if you're a big name like Notre Dame. Cincinnati, they need to win out. This is going to be most likely the only team they face that will end up the year most likely ranked. So Cincinnati needs to win and win impressively. I think they do so here. I just think Cincinnati's ready to play. Last year, remember, they had Georgia on the ropes in the bowl game and let them off late. Cincinnati was up the entire game. I like Cincinnati -2. Speaking of how good this team is, how many times does a non-Power 5 team go into Notre Dame that's undefeated and is the favorite here? So I like Cincinnati -2 here.
Yeah, that was the kicker for me was Notre Dame +2 is just going to look so enticing to the public bettors. It's going to be hard to keep them off. And then with that included the money line, plus money line with the Domers. I think it just looks very, very fishy. So I'm with you on those Bearcats. Ole Miss at Alabama. Bama's -14.5. The total on this one is 80. That's not a typo. It's 80. So what do we got going on here?
Lane Kiffin has a elite offense. Have we heard this before? I mean, he is a genius when it comes to offense. Obviously, he knows Alabama and Coach Saban very well. He was there for 3-4 years. And it's asking a lot for Ole Miss to go win this game. But can you imagine? Because I think both teams are going to be in the 40s. I do think the over is a solid play. Even I know 80 sounds like a really high. It's not that high when you said how talented these two offenses are. But in a high scoring game, give me 2+ touchdowns. I kind of think this number is going to come down to 14, but man, if you can get it at 14.5, you got to take Ole Miss. I'm going to take Ole Miss plus the 14. I think it's going to be a really good game. This is a 3:30 Eastern Standard Time game, so you can get on some of these noon games, and you follow it up with this one. It's going to be a great early games in college football week 5.
Good times to be had by all right, so we got a West Coaster here.
Yep.
Arizona State is at UCLA. Bruins are -3, totals 55.5. These two teams, I'm all over the place with both of them right now. So you tell me, you're the expert here. Who do I play in this one?
Well, UCLA beat a good Stanford team last week. That Stanford team, I think, is going to end up being one of those teams that is really good against the spread all year. Probably going to be an upsetter come bowl season, I would imagine. And this Arizona State team, I thought they were overrated, and overrated kind of coming in. I do like what they've done the last few years to get to this point, because, I mean, they were one of the worst teams in the Pac-12 just a few years ago. But Herm Edwards, I just don't think has the horses yet to play with UCLA. I think UCLA's offense is going to just run up and down the field. I like the over 55.5 as my best play here, but I wouldn't talk anybody off that UCLA number at -3. But it's a little fishy. That's why I went with the total, because I think UCLA is like a 6 or 7 point better team, and at home, kind of things like UCLA should be close to a touchdown favorite. So to me, I jumped off of that, went to the over 55.5. I think UCLA scores 38+, and that should get us this over here.
All right. So there we have it. Yeah, UCLA has that momentum. Like, I like UCLA on the side here because, yes, they did beat a very good Stanford team. That was coming off of a straight up loss to Fresno State that shouldn't have happened. So they've kind of got that ball rolling. Yep. Momentum's cruising along here. So that's who I'm going to roll with as well. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us here at Picks and Parlays for your college football week 5 rapid fire. Good luck, everyone.